The English prelates of the past enjoyed not a few peculiar privileges which are not inherited by their successors in modern times. In the medieval era, the dignitaries of the Church led comparatively exciting lives and were by no means strangers to the use of sword and lance, many gaining fame on the field of battle. In bygone times, the Archbishops of York appear to have enjoyed almost regal power. The baronies of Beverley, Sherborne, Patrington, Otley and Wilton belonged to them. They appointed justices for these important towns, had prisons, gallows, pillories and ducking stools, and did their utmost to maintain law and order. Amongst the many privileges enjoyed by the Archbishop of York was that of having a mint. As early as the year 1070, we find a mention of the mint and particulars of attempts made without success to destroy or curtail His Grace's coining. Archbishop Lee, who died in 1544, is said to have been the last to exercise the power of issuing money. It will be gathered from the foregoing that prelates were granted privileges which enabled them to exercise much power amongst the people. Some of the rights enjoyed at Hull by the Archbishop of York were oppressive to the inhabitants of the town and gave rise to much strife. It was the practice, exercised according to ancient custom, of the Archbishop of York to claim a tax from every vessel of 20 tons burden entering the River Hull. 2 casks of wine were demanded, one from before and the other from behind the mast. The casks, however, might be redeemed by paying 20 shillings for each. The merchants successfully evaded payment of duty by unloading their ships in the Humber and bringing their goods into port in small craft. As may be readily expected, the Archbishop was much annoyed at the conduct of the men of Hull, who received the support of the mayor of the town. Indeed, if we read history aright, we find the local authorities had a desire to enjoy the privileges claimed by the prelate. A great difficulty had been experienced for a long time by the officers of the Archbishop in collecting the dues, and Archbishop Neville saw that unless he made a firm stand to maintain his privileges, they would be lost. In the year 1378, he decided to visit Hull and enforce his rights. The mayor of Hull at that time was Sir Thomas de Waltham, a knight of quick temper and with no particular respect for persons with whom he came in contact. The Archbishop, with a few attendants, numbering less than a dozen, came to the town. The mayor, accompanied by 2 bailiffs named John Arnold and Thomas Green, and a large company of local supporters, met His Grace. The Archbishop complained bitterly to the mayor, saying, amongst other serious faults, that he had shown himself wanting in that respect for the Archbishop, which the representative of religion was entitled to receive. His worship soon waxed warm, declaring that he had only done his duty in maintaining the rights of his fellow townsmen. The prelate insisted that the mayor was in the wrong and that it was his intention to enforce the payment of his dues. The mayor soon showed signs of his displeasure, and seeing one, His Grace's men, mocking him, he, without ceremony, snatched from the Archbishop his crozier and struck the man. This was the commencement of a free fight in which the prelate and his people suffered a severe defeat. Blood freely flowed, and the Archbishop, seeing that he could not make a stand against so many opponents, beat a hasty retreat, followed a considerable distance out of the town by a large number of excited inhabitants of Hull, eager to avenge the wrongs it was believed His Grace had done. The mayor, it must be recorded, fought manfully with the crosier, which was broken into several pieces. Being a court favourite, the Archbishop brought the matter under the notice of the king. The mayor was summoned to appear before His Majesty at Westminster. This proceeding doubtless caused much trouble in Hull, but the mayor, feeling that he had right on his side, proceeded to London with a brave heart. At the trial he pleaded his cause with considerable eloquence. The case resulted in judgment being left in suspension. The place where the fight occurred was regarded by the superstitious as sacred, crowds of fanatics repairing to it to shed tears. Not a little inconvenience was caused by their conduct, and their proceedings were stopped by a permanent guard being appointed to keep folk away from the place. After the death of the Archbishop, it was believed for many years that his spirit haunted the spot where the battle was fought.